This boy is different from others. Others are attending classes in the classroom. He plays games in the classroom to make money. Others are studying diligently, and he's trading with game buyers while he was reading. His bank card balance has already reached 6 figures. He also bought himself a car, driving to school every day for classes. Her classmates are all envious of her. This talented young man who has been making money since childhood is named Arthur. Although Arthur is good at making money in games, but his parents have always been very opposed to them. I hope Arthur can study hard. Don't focus on playing games. But Arthur rebelled from a young age. What parents say, he never cared about it. He always thinks that he can make money in the game. But in the eyes of parents, he's just an uneducated child. Until one day, Arthur heard her parents arguing at home. Originally, my family failed due to business failure. There's no money left. Father wants Arthur to drop out of school, but my mother strongly disagrees. Watching my parents arguing over money, Arthur is also very sad. So he decided to take out the portion of his bank card to pay for his tuition. When Arthur opened her bank card account, only then did I realize that, because of excessive spending on weekdays, there's not much money inside anymore. In order to make up for the tuition fee, he had to open his game account again. When the screen is visible, he's puzzled. My account has been completely banned due to illegal transactions. Arthur is a bit sad. Turn around and take a look at the game console he just bought. The merchant gave him an ultra-cheap DVD machine. An idea of earning a price difference emerged. So he went to the store and bought 50 DVD machines at an extremely low price, preparing to embark on his lucrative career. But as soon as I got home, I realized that the DV and D machines were counterfeit goods. Basically, it's all bad. Arthur angrily returned to the store. The boss told him, no return or exchange, saying with a mocking expression, cheapest is the dearest. Don't you know? Arthur is mad with anger. Matching also initiated, but was slapped by the boss. He can only run away from the wilderness. This is his first time understanding the real world. It's not as easy as in the game. Arthur had to go to private university. But after tasting the sweetness of being rich, how can one go from extravagance to frugality? He ponders all day long. No intention of going to school. Once taking my girlfriend to Chinatown. He really wants to eat that roasted chestnuts in sugar-coated heated sand with sugar. Arthur, get off the car and buy it for him. Suddenly he thought that roasted chestnuts in sugar-coated heated sand was so hot. But only the Chinese gods have many people queuing up here to buy. If he sells roasted chestnuts in sugar-coated heated sand elsewhere, ideas appear. Put into action. Arthur came to a trade exhibition. Discovered an automatic chestnut fryer. They say it's the first in the country. He immediately believed it. Sold it down. Returning home, Dad is angry. This machine can be bought at half price on weekends. You are so gullible. But he didn't know that his son had a genuine boss mentality, never struggling and anxious about small money, because he can make a lot of money right away. I don't know how to stir-fry roasted chestnut. He's going to inspect each booth. If you don't understand, just open your mouth and ask. If you can't do it again, try it yourself. Learned how to distinguish bad chestnuts. Got it, I need to stir-fry with gravel and pebbles. We also developed the same ingredient. After several failures, he finally gave a satisfactory example. My parents are also full of praise after eating it. He called for the butler, officially started selling chestnuts. But reality is not that beautiful. His business has been selling poorly for several consecutive days. Is there a problem with marketing? Arthur asked the butler to learn from others. The salesperson started shouting. But after selling it for 2 days it still didn't help. To clarify this issue, Arthur went to the market again to see how others sell it. Observe while recording in a notebook. He found that those shops with good business share a common characteristic. The location is quite good. Location determines passenger flow. Customer flow determines the success or failure of a business. So he quickly adjusted his strategy. I rented a booth at the entrance of the mall. Sure enough, his booth business has become exceptionally hot. Everyone had to call to urge him to deliver chestnuts. Both of them seem a bit busy. Arthur calculated an account. Sell 2 million a day. The net profit is 4,000 plants. If we open a time branch, starting at 40,000 yuan, 1 month is 1.2 million yuan. Arthur didn't hesitate to buy a new machine. Start bulk copying. The rental butler is responsible for training the store staff, and 10 branches will soon be established. But what Arthur doesn't know is, he made the most common mistake of all novice entrepreneurs. Too eager to succeed. Just as Arthur was preparing for a big fight, Marta has quietly descended. Roasted chestnut smoked too much. The ceiling of the mall has been smoked black. The mall manager gave him 2 choices. Either stop polluting, either withdraw from the mall, as he prepares to continue his efforts. When personally solving smoking problems, my mother told him, the family is moving to China. Because my father owes a lot of money, no matter how much Arthur asks. My mother always refused to say that number. He doesn't want to leave. Leaving means complete failure. He can only watch his parents leave. But soon after, the Mal asked him to move out of here, removed all stalls, achieving a second entrepreneurship failure. He was depressed for a while. Until this day. My girlfriend bought a whole box of fried seaweed from a faraway place. Eating delicious. Arthur, try one too. I can't stop eating. He immediately had a new idea. Selling seaweed and saying, just do it. He found a professor, learned the method of making seaweed, and then invested all the money I made before into the seaweed business. After picking up dozens of boxes of seaweed, he started frying seaweed at home. But here comes another challenge. His seaweed never produced the desired taste. What to do if the taste is not delicious? Arthur can only keep trying, but every attempt is burning money. Soon all the money he had earned before was also used up. And his path to making money has once again hit a bottleneck. Until this day, it's pouring rain in the sky, his seaweed soaked in the rain all night. The next day, Arthur put the seaweed in. After frying, it was discovered that the seaweed this time was different from before. The taste is very delicious. It turns out that his seaweed needs to be soaked in water. It's only delicious when fried in oil. Anyway, luck is still on Aka's side. Aka's seaweed is finally on the shelves. On that day, his seaweed was highly praised. Make money at this speed. He calculated that after a year he could make 1 million. But at this moment, another huge blow came. He received a call from his parents. They say their house is going to be seized by the bank, because he learned that his family owes 40 million yuan in debt. In an instant, Arthur felt that the sky had collapsed. He needs to sell for 40 years to pay off. When tidying up the house, he saw his parents hiding a lot of sleeping pills at home. He only knew how much pressure his family was under. He decided to fight his life. I also need to help my family repay their debts. This time, he taps his meditation, unable to sleep late at night, going out to buy food. Suddenly he saw the flying convenience store bag. As soon as he turns around, there are 3 convenience stores on one street. A way to expand sales has led to things that others dare not think of. Arthur said, just do it. He changed into his father's suit, arriving at the convenience store headquarters, recommended by the marketing manager. I hope his seaweed can be listed on the convenience store. But before he could finish speaking, he was rejected by the manager, because its packaging size and price do not meet the standards. Arthur goes home. My girlfriend came to ask him to go to school again. He broke up with her on the spot. Lonely, Arthur lay by the butler and slept all night. Early the next morning, Arthur leaves home, find a professional to design packaging for him, and then shamelessly continue to look for that executive. This time, the other party hasn't shown up for a long time. He thought the executives were deliberately hiding from him. He put seaweed in the elevator, and then left in frustration. When the executives come out, Arthur has already walked out of the building. Coincidentally speaking, unfortunately, the executive saw Arthur's seaweed in the elevator. The next day, he was informed that the product won the bid. The executive told him, his seaweed will be delivered to 72,000 convenience stores nationwide. Before listing, the company will send someone to inspect the factory. Only after passing the inspection can the contract come into effect. Arthur's face is in trouble again. Where does he have a factory? This small workshop will definitely not pass the acceptance check. He first thought of the bank, coming to the bank for a loan. But at the age of 19, no connections. 2. No collateral. There's also a dad who owes money and doesn't pay it back. The bank manager dare not lend to him. Arthur is once again in a slump. Are you really stuck in the final stage? He was once brilliant in his parents' time. Arthur found his father's previous warehouse. He decided to think of everything. A month later, the broken warehouse was renovated into a new factory. Arthur also recruited several workers. The executives are here, very disappointed. Arthur's factory did not meet maintenance standards. They decided to go back and discuss it. Arthur didn't wait foolishly. After experiencing these things, he is much more mature than his peers. He solved the problems raised by the executives one by one, gradually improving the factory. On the day of receiving the permission notice, he took the notice and looked at it again and again. His seaweed was gradually transported to various parts of the country. He really succeeded this time. Call your parents to report the situation. Invite them to return home. Just 2 years later, he paid off a huge sum of 40 million yuan, after several years of hard work, becoming a true billionaire. This year, he's only 28 years old. Along the way, Arthur has suffered more than anyone else. But he never thought of giving up. The world is uncertain. You and I are both dark horses. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how desperate it may be, he can even get up. He won't lose his faith. Okay. By the end of this episode, the wilderness has come to an end. Remember to follow Xiao Kai. More exciting in the next issue.